What's going on, everyone? So there were reports, and I did a video about it, on the Lakers being stressed about Luka signing a contract extension that he has no way of actually signing. Like literally, he can't sign it for another month. So the idea that the Lakers are stressed and worried about it makes no sense, right? Like again, if we get to August and we're August 15th now and he still hasn't signed the extension, then yeah, I could see the Lakers getting a little worried and getting a little stressed out. That's a possibility. But until then, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would the Lakers be worried about something they literally can't even offer yet, that they can't even do? And who's to say they haven't had the conversations? Like, the report was like that Luka's holding out. Holding out for what? There's nothing to hold out in. He literally can't sign it. It's not like he could sign it today and he's like, I want to wait. He literally cannot sign it for another month. So even if he is holding out, or even if he plans to hold out, he can't start holding out for another month. So why would you worry about that, stress about it right now? I fully expect Luka to sign the extension. I've talked about this from the beginning. He's going to sign a 3-year extension, likely with a player option for the 3rd year. Why? Because after 10 years, he then gets the increase in the salary, percentage in the salary cap, to where he can start recouping and getting the bigger contracts, basically the equivalent of what he would have gotten had he signed the Supermax with Dallas. But because Dallas traded him, he missed out on that money, so now he has to recoup it another way. So once he gets to 10 years in service, then he can opt out, sign a new contract with the Lakers, and get the big money. Now, if the Lakers aren't good, or they're, it's just Luka and a bunch of nobodies, by the time Luka's able to opt out, then yes, the Lakers could potentially lose some. But that's also why the Lakers want to preserve cap space. They want to preserve cap space because they don't want to be locked in long term, and then LeBron leaves and they can't replace anybody, and it's Luka and a bunch of, just role players, and Luka can opt out the next year and just leave. Like, that's what the Lakers are worried about. That's why the Lakers are trying to preserve cap space, right? They want to go for it and they want to win now, but they also know that they're probably going to have to replace LeBron in a year or two, and they don't want to be put in a position where they can't replace him and then Luka could just leave, right? He's probably not leaving this offseason. The only reason I say probably is because I don't like to speak in definitives, because it's the NBA and you never know, right? But I am like 99.99% sure that Luka Doncic is going to sign that extension and that he's going to be a Laker at least 3 more years after this year. However, right, the Lakers, I would imagine, want that confirmation and that security, right? And also to work and talk with Luka through things, right? I mean, you already gotten the reports that the Lakers have ran through everything with Luka and the Ayton signing and all this stuff, right? Like, that there's been that dialogue and conversation because he's their guy. He's the guy that they're trying to build around and put a team around and do all that stuff. Well, it would be nice if he did sign that extension, and then you kind of knew, okay, we got Luka for the next 3 years, and then you can kind of start making the moves and making the adjustments. Now, again, I don't know this for certain. This is just a thought. This is something that I just wanted to talk through, and of course, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions, so let me know down in the comments. But if you're the Lakers, it would make sense to, one, figure out the LeBron situation and what LeBron wants to do, right? And 2, make sure Luka locks in and is ready to go for the next 3 years. So that way now you can start making the moves accordingly. LeBron, Luka's bought in. Are you bought in? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, let's go make X, Y, and Z move, right? But right now, if you're the Lakers, do you really want to make all these crazy moves? Do you really want to do all these crazy things? And then it's like, okay, LeBron now wants to be traded and Luka may end up opting out. And it's like, dude, we just got 3 guys that are locked up for the next 5 years or 4 years or whatever. And we might lose Luka at the end of this season. And LeBron wants to be traded and leave, right? And this house of cards could start crumbling, right? So if you're the Lakers, you kind of want to know, because again, if, let's say, LeBron wants out, right? I don't think he will, right? I think it's all a bunch of noise, but just humor me for a second, right? Let's say LeBron wants out. You have to wait till you trade him before you go make any other moves. Why? Because 1, you need to see what are you getting in return, right? Because what if you get a 3-and-D wing in that process? right? What if you end up doing something where you land that kind of that three? Why would you go trade for a starting three right now, right? We'll just use Andrew Wiggins. I know Andrew Wiggins is supposed to be off the table, but why would you go trade for Andrew Wiggins right now? And then LeBron leaves and you end up getting a piece or two from a team that now is going to slot in that spot, right? Like, let's say you do the Warriors swap where you end up landing Jimmy Butler. Well, now you don't really have a need for Andrew Wiggins because Jimmy Butler's going to slot in that spot. So what? Now you're going to go small and play Wiggins at the 4? No, like if you were to get that, or like what if you get Jonathan Kuminga? Okay, well now we got Kuminga. Kuminga can maybe play the 4, right? I'm just using that as an example, right? So if you're the Lakers, you want to wait and see what does LeBron do, right? So that way you know what moves you need to make because you don't want to go make moves and then with LeBron in mind and Luka in mind and do the things, although there are a lot of things that you want for Luka that also make sense for LeBron. I mean, almost everything. Like, what do you want around Luka? You want defense, shooting, right? Athleticism, right? Like, you want that. Well, what do you want alongside LeBron James? Defense, youth, athleticism, right? Like, shooting. You want those things. The only thing that's different between Luka and LeBron is the type of center that you want. That's why DeAndre Ayton is so great because he kind of fits both of their styles, right? LeBron likes to clear out, bully his way to the basket, and then kick out to the various shooters, right? Well, DeAndre Ayton can step out, right? Well, Luka, what does Luka like to do? He likes to create that dribble penetration, get into the teeth of the defense collapses, boom, easy outlet to the big man, right? Outside of that, they're essentially the same players. But again, you don't want to go and lock up moves and make these necessary like win now moves until you know what happens with LeBron. Same thing with Luka, right? Like if Luka's locked in, right? Well, then you don't want to lock yourself in long term because if Luka ends up leaving, you want to have the flexibility to where you can go and make other moves. Or if you need to do a sign and trade, maybe you can get back another star or reset. Like let's say you want to, let's say you trade Luka and now you got to rebuild, right? You don't want to have 5 guys under contract for the next 5 years. The Lakers are in a really interesting spot because of the Luka trade, right? Because as soon as the Luka trade happened, everything changed. Right? Because now it's like, okay, we need to keep Luka long term. We need to figure out and try to keep LeBron happy, but we also need to maintain for now and the future, right? LeBron's leaving in a year or two, and we need to make sure that we are able to build a roster in which Luka will be satisfied and happy, but also can add that other co-star alongside Luka when LeBron leaves. It's a tough spot to be in if you're the Lakers because you need to kind of balance these things. Now, look, maybe the answer is DeAndre Ayton, right? What if Ayton does become that 1-2 punch with Luka, and then it's like, boom, there you go. You got that guy. Now you're just filling in the 3-and-D guys around him. Now you just need, a point of attack guard and then 2 sizable, versatile defensive wings, and you got Luka and Ayton as your 1-2 punch that can lead you to potential multiple championships, right? That could be a possibility, but you don't know until you actually get there. You don't know until this season starts, right? So if you're the Lakers, do you go and gamble and trust that that's going to work, right? And is it going to work long term? Right? Or do you kind of wait, let the dust settle, get Luka signed? Now Luka's signed. Now it's like, okay, Luka, what do you want? Right? Because you got to keep in mind, buddy, that LeBron can leave in a year or two. Do you want us to just go all in and do everything to get whatever players and pieces right now so we can win right this second? Right? And then when LeBron leaves, hey, it might be just you and these role guys and we're betting on Ayton to be really great? Or do you want us to, still try to wait, be patient, find those right moves, but still be able to maintain that flexibility for the future, right? Because those moves are very different, right? Because right now, if Luka's like, well, I would like a co-star when LeBron leaves, well, then now you want to maintain that flexibility in 2026 or 2027. But if Luka's like, no, like, hey, I don't care. Let's go for it right now. I got me and LeBron, right? Like, we'll figure it out after. Like, you got me. I'm here. Mr. Laker, let's do it. Then again, now you have that. He signs the extension. He's locked in for the next 3 years, and you can kind of now make your moves and make little adjustments, especially if the reports are true that the Lakers were never really into Andrew Wiggins. And not just that, the whole 2027 thing doesn't make sense because 1, if Ayton works, you're signing him to a new deal. 2, if Austin Reeves, you really believe, is the guy next to Luka, and let's say it does work this year, then you're signing him to a new deal. There's all your cap space. And so the whole idea of like the Lakers are waiting around for 2027 doesn't make sense right now, right? Like it doesn't. But again, you want to have that flexibility. You want to kind of gauge and see, but you want Luka locked in. You want Luka ready to go, bought in. Hey, let's figure this out together. So that way now you can start making the moves. And ideally, LeBron, like, hey, dude, so Luka's locked in, right? And maybe that's what LeBron's waiting for, right? Like maybe LeBron's like, dude, if Luka's going to leave in a year, like I'd rather go somewhere where I have a year or two to try, right? Like, again, like what I'm saying is Luka might be the first domino that ends up falling that leads to everything else. Right? So like Luka signs his extension. I think it's like August 6th. He signs his extension. And then everything now the Lakers go, okay, let's go. Right? Now we got Luka locked in. Let's make these moves. Let's do these things. Right? Because again, depending on how all of that shapes up with your stars may dictate what directions you go. Again, if LeBron wants to be traded, you need to see what you get in that return first. Because what if you get, like I said, a starting three in that deal? Right? Or that's what you'd be trying to do. You'd be trying to go fill in the gaps there. Or what if you get another star? Right? I talked about like, what if Giannis is like, dude, I can go play with Luka? Right? Like, I can work out a 3-team trade and like all this stuff gets sent out and then I go to Lakers and team up with Luka now? Right? Because right now that's not an option for Giannis. So, but if LeBron wants to go to Cleveland and they work out some 3-team deal and now it is an option, maybe Giannis wants to do that. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying like you don't know what a LeBron trade could trigger and you don't know what a Luka signing or non-signing extension could trigger. Right? So the step one to me is like get Luka signed long-term, which I fully expect he will. But now you do that. Now you have the assurance that, okay, now we can kind of pick the direction we're going. Now we can kind of do what we want to do. Next step, LeBron, Luka's in. Are you in? We're going to go sit down with your 2 stars like, okay, hey, you two, you bought in? Okay, what do you want us to do? Right? And Luka's the one that has the veto say. Do you want us to, hey, go get whoever it is? I don't care about like financial flexibility in the future, right? But you got to keep in mind, buddy, LeBron's going to leave. And if Reeves doesn't work out or Ayton doesn't work out, we might be stuck for a year or two. So keep that in mind, buddy. And if he's like, hey, I don't care, then you do whatever. You go, I don't care if the guy has a terrible contract. If he's a guy that you think puts you over the top, right, you do it. Right? Jeremy Grant, just a name that came to mind that's like not the best contract, right? Like if that's the guy that they think puts them over the top, then you go do it, right? Because again, you do whatever it takes for roster reasons. Again, don't take the Jeremy Grant thing literal. I'm just, like I said, a name. Because anytime I like throw up people like, oh, like it's not literal. I'm just using an example of like a contract that like probably wouldn't be best to trade for, especially for the long-term implications. But it's like, hey, if that's the piece that puts you over the top, right, then you do it. Right? Whatever it is that you need to do, you do it at that point. But I think it's very likely that Luka is the first domino to fall. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.